When we install the cloud management plugin or cloud provision and governance plugin, it comes with two different important portals: the cloud admin portal and cloud user portal. So these are the important portal in terms of CPG module, and the cloud admin portal help us to configure all the uh, things around all the activities around the CPG module. So here today we are going to learn here how we can configure the cloud account and the cloud provisioning catalog, which will help us to uh, request the VM instance, server, or maybe workspace on the Azure end. So this is the cloud admin portal. You can see the dashboards, which is giving multiple information around the Azure or the other catalogs with different clouds. So it will give you consolidated view on AWS, Azure, or VMware, or GCP. So you can see we have option manage and service accounts, and also the cloud account. So service account, which is automatically discovered with the help of subscription discovery, which we have seen in the previous session. Here we can see that cloud accounts we need to create. We can click on the cloud accounts and new. So here it will have option to label the cloud account. We will mention it as Azure, and there is a description which we need to put. Description can be anything. And then the provider, we need to choose the provider. So provider will be definitely Azure. If you're going for AWS or vCenter discovery or the cloud, you will have to choose the respective one. So once we selected this we can go to the next, and we can see that we have all the data centers which we have discovered in the previous session are landed here. So we can just uh, check the particular data centers which we required, and based on that selection we can take this further to the next, where we can save what data centers are required for our operations. We can click on close here, and you can see it will take a while to show that particular record related to the cloud account. And here we go, we can click on that particular account. This is the draft and publish button, which will help us to uh, configure it again or make a changes into it. Whenever we need to make a change, we need to put it to the draft. All these data centers are here. You can see once we click on specific data center, we can see the resources are landed into this particular dashboard. So we'll see for East US specifically, which will have the resources. You can see these resources in the East US. We have images, we have volumes, we have a virtual machine instance, we also have resource group and other details discovered here from the cloud discovery. So we can also see the capacity limits are here. We can configure these limits within the ServiceNow, so that based on these limits the resources can be limited to the different users or groups. This is the discovery log of the data center discovery which we had performed earlier. So all these resources are available here. This button is discover now, can help you to discover within this data center. Now we can see that we publish this particular cloud account. We can see we also have the option for the cloud discovery here. So the same cloud discovery is available here. And We have a couple of options related to the configuration of the copy module, and you can see the credential table is also available here. You can change the credentials or configure from here. In the design section, we have a couple of options. We have a cloud catalog items option here, which will help us to configure the cloud catalog. So it is recommended to configure from here, and we can click on the create new catalog. It will help us to configure the catalog with some different options than the conventional or traditional catalog. We can give some label here. We have options with respect to configuring the categories and the catalog items where we wanted to see that. We also have the source, which is a really important here. We'll give the name request for demo server, and yes, the catalog we can configure here. This is the two options, cloud template and configuration management template. So once we select cloud template, we have ARM template and cloud formation template. Cloud formation will be specifically for the as AWS provisioning. We have a configuration management template. So here we as of now don't have the Terraform or Chef connectors or plugins enabled, so we can't see that options. Once we have a Terraform enabled, we will be able to see those options here. And then once we select the ARM template in the cloud template, we can fill some basic information which we wanted to see are present to the requester. We can add multiple options here like name and description. We can submit this record. It will create a compute catalog. So we can open this now. Once we create it, it is in inactive status, and we can also do one thing here, like we can add the respective cloud template. So basically we need to click on new, and it will open the respective format of adding the template. We have copied that template from the template.json file. We can directly import that file from here also, from the local file, or we can import from the GitHub. Here we are copy pasting the template which we have created or generated in the last session, and we are pasting it here. Simply same template we have to paste it, and once we have created, you can see it is in draft status and the validation is success here. So both should be in green status and the success status. Now we will click on this one number. It's a version of that particular template. We need to activate this particular template. So basically this is a validated already by ServiceNow, and this template we are going to activate it. So you can see all the basic information which is going to be generated from this is added here. We can click on active, and it will start activating the template. It will take 2 minutes of time to activate this template. Yeah, so now the activation is completed. After activating this, make sure that you can see this message, and important thing is we need to uh, activate the particular, after activating the template, we need to activate the catalog. Okay, so we can click on this checkbox and activate it. We can also add the different cloud catalogs, which is which can make this particular catalog available on the different portals. So we can use the technical or service catalog here, and we need to save it. So once we save this particular record, the catalog is ready for now to request in the uh, cloud user portal. We can see once we activate this, it will have created the different parameters, variable sets automatically. So the status is green, active, and success. You can see that it will create a two by default tabs, general tab and provision tab, and different rules will be automatically created for the validation purpose, and these validations will be performed when we order the uh, catalog. You can see these are the operations which is by default or automatically populated. There are 6 operations: start, stop, modify leads, schedule, and deprovisioning. So all these operations are available. This is part of the resource block compute. In the general tab, we can see that this is having all the attributes, the fields which is associated with the uh, Azure account, like which contains the cloud account, location, stack name, user group information, then the schedule zones, and the different information with respect to Azure. After that, you can see it will also generate the different client scripts for the validations. So by default, this is available with the uh, cloud account which we create based on the ARM template. So no need to worry about all these validations. This will be automatically created. Definitely, if you have a specific requirement, so you can change the scripts and make a modifications or disable it as and when required. When you go to the another section of provisioning variable set, here you can see more technical details about the virtual machine. So this will contain the name of it, then username, password, and the version. It will also contain the information about uh, different script which is validating the uh, operating system and other details. So this particular template is a generic template which is used for the Windows and Linux. That's why you can see all the information which is with Unix and Windows operating system. So here we have an option to try it also. We can try from here, but I would recommend to go to the respective cloud user portal or the service portal, and there you can request for this particular catalog. So in this permission section in the govern, we need to add multiple permissions for the different configurations which we have created. So we have a cloud account, we can give the permission to that cloud account if specific group of people are allowed to use a specific cloud account. So based on this, we can restrict the specific users or groups to use the specific cloud accounts or specific uh, catalog itself. So we can also restrict different operations which we have seen: start, stop, or provisioning, deprovisioning. All those operations can be restricted based on the different groups, access, and the permissions. So all this configuration is available here. You can add those configurations which will help you to make more specific access and to the users and the groups. We have this couple of operate section activities which will help us to troubleshoot the particular cloud provisioning after submitting the request. So here basically we have cloud orchestration trail and cloud API trail. So these both things are really important in terms of troubleshooting the cloud operations. If you submit any request, it will definitely you can see in this particular form a request item is there. You can put the request number and you can see that specific logs here. So you can also group by log level. So you can see that debug logs, error logs, and info logs. So maybe these error logs are specifically important for you if you wanted to troubleshoot, and based on these particular logs, you can, if you can open any of the record, you can see that it has all the information about the response is sent to respective cloud and Azure, and what is the message which is received to us. So all this information is there, why it is failed and what is the response from the API. Either it's tested as 400 or maybe any issue with the communication or mid server will be highlighted in these particular logs. This is very important for you to understand if you wanted to work with this particular module. You have basically the level and request item. Those two fields are important. In the cloud API trail, we will be able to understand if particular communication is happened, which mid server is responsible for that. So you usually get some error with respect to the cloud operation is assigned to the incorrect mid server. So you can find it here, and if it is failed and if it is gone to the different mid server than the expected, you can work with the capabilities and applications and IP ranges to clearly correct the configuration so that it will go to the respective mid server and complete the operation successfully. Based on the provider also you can categorize here. So you can see that different operations with respect to the cloud resources are triggered, and like the compute operation, for the storage, for block storage, all these are performed in the backend based on the request which we perform.